Welcome to Going for the Green. I'm Brad Thomas here with Denny Carter, and we're going to lay out our best bets and plays for the Wells Fargo Championship played at Quail Hollow. But before we get into anything, we have to talk about the two bombs dropped on us. Number one, Scottie Scheffler is not in the field, awaiting the arrival of his first child, and Ludvig Åberg is out due to a new knee injury. And I will say this, Denny, I'm pressed because I was going to single bullet Ludvig. Tell me how this affects pricing and rostership ownership.
Big time. Look, first of all, I hope that Scottie Scheffler's wife eventually has this baby so that he can get on with the season. And credit to him for staying home and looking out for being on baby watch. But Åberg and Scheffler being out means that rostership for DraftKings tournaments is going to be much more spread out, much more even, especially among the top 10 or 12 guys in the field. So just, kind of grapple with that before you make your final calls for entries this week. A guy like Rory is going to see much more rostership now that those two are gone. But guys, I'm going to mention a couple guys in a second, will not soak up that rostership because of the pricing here.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And from the betting perspective, we've seen the pricing changes. But my favorite thing is when one of the favorites kind of withdrawals or they eject themselves is when the pricing is stale. So just make sure you look around for some stale numbers.
Yeah.
For me personally, I was kind of confused, right? I didn't know how I wanted to attack this because I thought this course set up really nice for Åberg. It was a very good spot, and I believe he was around 12 to 13 to 1, which was a fantastic number for probably the second best golfer in the world. And I say that with caution because obviously he doesn't have the wins to back it up, but the way he's playing, the way he challenged Scottie on Sunday at Augusta, he absolutely was. But I want to get straight into my first pick, my favorite that I'm attacking, and that's Xander Schauffele. I'm going to take him top 10. The price is around plus 105, plus 110, plus 130, depending on where you look. Make sure you look at a market that pays out ties in full. It's important to say that because it's only a 69 man field, which means there's not going to be a lot of room for ties to not pay you. What that means is we want him to finish at the top 10. It doesn't matter if he's T10 or he's first. Xander Schauffele is horse for course. And why I say that is because Quail Hollow is difficult. There's a lot of holes here that play over par. So you want a guy who just is very great all around, but also a great ball striker. And Xander Schauffele is exactly that. Denny, I don't know if I can get exactly behind his 9-1 outright price, but I did do some funky stuff and I parlayed him a couple times with some soccer lines that I like. But I'd probably price him fairly around 11-1. But obviously with Åberg withdrawing, that pricing changes.
For sure. Look, Xander's not racking up the wins, but he's tearing the cover off the ball week in and week out. So we like that.
Okay, so you have a guy that you like that at 30-1, you could honestly convince me on an outright bet. Tell me what you love about Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, I mean, look, some things I'm looking at this week are, strokes gained around the green. I'm looking at long iron play, and I'm looking at distance off the tee, okay? I don't particularly love when a course demands distance off the tee. I feel like that sort of waters down the process of finding a good player, to use in DraftKings tournaments. But so be it. It is what it is. But Matsuyama checks all those boxes. He's been borderline elite in long iron play. That means 175 yards and above, especially over 200. He's been really good. His past three finishes, 6th, 7th, and then he tied for 38th at the Masters. I do think at 9,800, we're going to see a lot of the rostership in that area go to Cam Young, who also checks a lot of boxes here, and go to Thigala, who I think, is a great play, but I'm a little hesitant on embracing him, going all in on Thigala, because I think that he will be very highly rostered. So you get off the high rostership a little bit here, and a guy who really fits this course well in Matsuyama.
Yeah, Matsuyama fits this course well. And what's funny to note about Matsuyama is normally when he's priced like around the 18 to 25 price range in the outright market, he doesn't win. He's normally the guy who's in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and he wins the tournament.
Right.
I'm going to go with Steven Jaeger. Back to Jaeger Bomb. And you remember how I said, make sure you play on a book that pays ties in full?
Yes.
Well, you would have lost money last week if you tailed him top 20 at another book that pays out dead heat. lost money. That means if you'd have placed a $20 bet, you probably would have returned $5, even though he finished T20. But I'm okay with his poor performance at CJ Cup because of everything that he did well that I wanted him to. Ball striking, he gained over 3 strokes ball striking off the tee, gained over 5 strokes off the tee. Yes, the putter wasn't great. And yes, that makes that 3 events in a row where he lost strokes on approach. But the funny thing about strokes gained approach is when you're gaining so many strokes off the tee, it makes your numbers kind of skewed if you have a subpar approach outing. And the putting, I could forgive the putting at a course like this because there's going to be a lot of long irons. There's going to be a lot of long putts. Long irons equal long putts because you're not going to be hitting as many close on approach. But this dude has been an absolute stone cold killer. And I think at, oh my God, 60-1, he has a better chance to win than a lot of dudes who are sitting at 25-1. Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, guys whose game is just falling off a cliff.
That's right. Yeah, Steven Jaeger 301 off the tee over the past 20 rounds. Only Taylor Pendrith is longer in this field. So he's a bomber, and we like bombers on this course.
Yeah, man. Speaking of another guy who's pretty good off the tee, and they have excelled a lot with their long irons, that's Akshay Bhatia. Yeah. I'm still reveling in him cashing me that 66-1 ticket a few weeks ago. What do you like about him?
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't, kind of fall away on Sundays like he did that day and then came through for you, which I'm still happy for you, by the way, Brad. That was great call. But listen, over the past 16 rounds, only Xander Schauffele is ahead of Bhatia in total strokes gained. Okay, in this field, it's only Xander. We talked about how good Xander's been. Bhatia's been right there. Over that same stretch, Bhatia leads all players in ball striking. So look, the short game, not really there. The putting, I'm a little nervous. Okay, I get it. I don't know if he's in it to win it, but for DraftKings purposes, I think he's very fairly priced. I think it would be something of a stunner if he did not make the cut here because his ball striking has been so on point. We just have to hope that our guy Bhatia makes a few putts this week, and we're in.
Yeah, let's hope a guy who is on the all name team, Adam Schenk, the most unfortunate name of a golfer. I was shocked to see his price with how well he's been doing. He's sitting at 66-1 to win the tournament. I can ignore his name. I know you don't like the name for a golfer.
Well, look, you have to give him credit. I feel like he has overcome having the last name of Schenk to become one of the world's best golfers. This is incredible. This is a story no one's talking about. It's like a kicker in the NFL. His last name was Blewett. Okay, yes. His name literally is Chris Blewett. And if that guy went on to become the next Adam Vinatieri, it would have been incredible. Schenk, I give him all the credit in the world. He's basically Tiger Woods because he overcame that last name. Go ahead, Brad.
Could you imagine Adam Schenk sitting at like a Wake Forest tournament and he hits a bad shot and everyone's like, Schenk. And he like puts his hand between his heads. No, but on a more serious note, his game is on the up and up. Ball striking number is phenomenal. CJ Cup gained 6 strokes ball striking. RBC Heritage 4 strokes, 3 strokes at the Masters, another 3 at Valero. If he can keep that around the green play in the green and means he gains stroke, I think he's going to be live to win. At the Byron Nelson, his T13 was probably a miss for him. And what I mean by that is he was playing way better than not finishing inside the top 10. Here, when we play at a little bit more difficult course, I think that'll help him because he's not one of the highest birdie or better gainers, but he's becoming an all-around good golfer. And I think that the win for him is a lot closer than people realize.
Absolutely. I do like him in this field. And for DFS purposes, my guy Schenk is not going to be highly rostered. I can guarantee you that.
I think the name's probably off-putting. You're going for the all-name team, and you're going with Kirk Kitayama as your low-price option.
Look, when I made my model this week, and we all make our models, I wasn't expecting Kirk Kitayama to pop the way he did, but let me tell you, he did. He popped as a top 10 play here. I think, we talk about Bomber's course. He's 6th in the field in ball striking over the past month, 13th off the tee, 6th in driving distance at 298 yards a pop. So he moves it out there, with the best of them. He's also 6th best in this field in 3-putt avoidance, which I know that's we're getting a little bit in the weeds, in the metrics weeds. I get that, but it is important here. We're going to have a lot of long putts, a lot of, lengthy par putts, and Kitayama over the past couple months has been really good in that area. So it gives me some confidence that he can hang in there with the big boys and, maybe post a top 10, top 12, something in that range.
Yeah, no, like we say every week, when you have guys at those prices, you just need one of those sneaky top
Yeah.
10s, top 15s even. Before I let everyone go, this came to my mind. I played football with a guy whose last name was Burger, offensive lineman, and his nickname was Double with Cheese.
Come on.
Not even joking. But Denny, listen, as always, this was fun. Thank you to everyone who decided to check this out. And I hope that we can help you out with your wagers. But make sure you check out NBCSports.com for additional help with your wagers. Take care.